sphere, Borg sphere.
Well, it's funny if they'd injected it with a slightly more Borgy version, it would just grow into a cube. It's like, oh no, a Borg cube. No, it's the Narada. Oh, just like a cube. I know, just like a cube. But is there a geometric shape called pointy?
Sure.
The Borg pointy ship. On to the next picture, which is actually a fantastic picture. I mean, these, again from the comic, those are amazing looking Katingas. Those are really nicely done.
You see these, they're called warbirds, Klingon warbirds in 2009 movie, which is wrong. They are in this Kobayashi Maru simulation, and they look good. Even this, the Lego, the Klingon ships from JJ movie look amazing.
Yes, I've seen 3D models of them, and they are close. And this is not actually exact. This is actually a Katinga. Like, this is almost identical. The one they have is actually quite a lot different. There's more pieces to it. So I'm not sure if this is meant to be Prime or not. This might be the battle before they got to Klingon space. But then in the movie, there's meant to be a battle with Klingons. This is presumably just they don't know. There's meant to be a jet. Oh no, I guess that's the future, isn't it? No, this is when it comes through, and they got all the. Well, I guess there should be D7s, whatever. The fact this ship can take out what's that, like 60 D7 Katingas? I mean, wow.
But it doesn't take it doesn't take them out. This is the part that was cut out of the movie. They did some rough animations for it, where the Klingon fleet shows up after the Kelvin has been destroyed.
Yes.
That's how Nero gets captured and put in Repente.
I forgot. Yeah, they win, don't they?
Yes, they do.
Yeah, because it's damaged.
Overwhelming numbers.
Yeah, it's damaged from the Kelvin smashing in and disabling it partially. That's why they can. Right. Why weren't Klingons using this fleet in TOS or Star Trek for movies? Because this is a good fleet, guys. Use the ships.
Maybe it's closer to Klingon territory than we've seen. I mean, the Kelvin was supposedly a colony ship for some reason out there. That's why it was so big. So who knows? If you go to the next picture, actually, it shows them firing at the Narada. And there's not as many ships here, but there is rough cut animation, CGI of Klingon ships attacking the Narada, which I really, really wish they would have left in the movie, or at least finish it and put it in, because even the whole Klingon penal colony Repente is in the movie. The scenes were filmed. Leave it in, guys. That would have tied the story more together, and I think because it didn't make sense where Nero went for 25 years.
I've read I've watched a commentary thing, and that's Joe saying, he wants to just focus on this one little bit of the story and not really tell the wider story. But it's like, you need story, and audience would get confused. It's like, imagine if, as you say, the shuttles are going away, then you cut reverse shot and like 50 Klingon ships come in. They're the ships we know from canon. It starts a battle, and then we fade to white as a torpedo maybe explodes, and it's like, wow, that's a way to end the first act. A fleet of Klingon ships, like that ups the ante, and it was already in the script. That would have been incredible. And then you cut to
if they had done that, there'd be another unanswered question. Why didn't the Klingons either destroy or capture all the shuttles that were launched?
Yes.
Because theoretically, they showed up pretty much right after that incident, and the shuttles obviously wouldn't be as fast as these Klingon battleships.
Well, yeah, just how do those shuttles get back to Earth anywhere near? I mean, that would have taken them years, but that's a whole separate question. But it's a great picture, really nicely done. And this next photo is a sort of a weird one. It is from Star Trek Online, and it's a Romulan ship, which has been enhanced by Borg technology. And obviously, they've followed the visual cues of the Narada, forget the ship's name there. And it looks like a bug and generic and very interesting to me, anyway.
No, it does look more Romulan though than Narada. It does look kind of pulled back version. It looks like the scimitar basically with a few extra bits on it. Maybe the scimitar is in the heart of that. I don't know, but it does look more Romulan-esque than the Narada does, especially the color scheme.
Yes, and also the scaling is better as well. So.
Yeah.
It's like it would have actually been kind of worked better if it had been more like this design, where you'd had that bridge module, that neck, that beak like an Ericsson of some form, and then the outstretched claws. That could have been really interesting, rather than just the claws or just the spikes. That would probably have been a better design. Because then it would have, like, all you had to do for the fans is give us a Romulan bridge module, and then everything else can be Borg. We've just explained it. Boom. Canonly linking in, but it's all good.
Plus, with these points too, it looks like very much like wingtips. Like it was just an evolution of the Romulan look. So, anyway, let's go on to the last picture, and this is just a great shot of like the concept version of it, which is a cool looking ship. If it was any other alien species that we had never heard of from Star Trek, or not Star Trek. But to be a Romulan ship, and even a Borg-ified Romulan ship, it doesn't really work for me. It doesn't have those visual cues that I need to associate it with that.
And when do the Borg have serrated edges to their spires? I mean, it's very un-Borgified.
A new thing just popped into my mind. It actually ties it in a little bit with Nero. Is his face tattoo.
Right.
And the points on his face tattoo, or it kind of resembles. You can see the tie in between the bad guy and the bad guy ship. I don't know if they were meaning to do that, but
Any closing thoughts, Stuart?
Wood plays a starring role in nearly every home. How? With few exceptions, homes are framed with softwood lumber. Wood is a cost-effective structural material that's easy to build with and familiar to DIYers, builders, and contractors. So it's ideal to create the enclosure for an energy-efficient home. This means homes use less energy for cooling in the summer and heating in the winter. So more money stays in your wallet, where it belongs. Building with wood can also significantly lower a home's carbon footprint. That's because wood products store carbon. Even better, wood is produced from the sun's energy, not fossil fuels. And it turns out, what's good for the planet is also good for us. Research shows that natural elements, like wood, automatically help us relax, lowering blood pressure and stress levels. And who couldn't use a little stress reduction?
That, but
Any closing thoughts, Stuart?
No, like I said, it's typical for a big summer blockbuster movie kind of bad guy ship, but it's not necessarily Star Trek. So
Cool.
there you have it.
All right, well, that is it for this week's Trekyard Mission Briefing. Your JJ dose for every once in a while. We've got a few more ships to come on. Don't worry, guys. We'll cover them eventually. And if you guys want to support the show, please head over to Patreon and give what you can, or a one-time donation at our main webpage, www.trekyards.com. And if you just want to subscribe on YouTube, do. If you want to like us on YouTube, do. If you want to email us, do. If you want to shout from the hilltops, Trekyards, do. It might not go well, but it's up to you. Anyway, if you just want more of us, then check out every other episode on Saturdays and this Wednesday and Mondays and all those things, and tune in for another episode when that comes out. This is it from me, Commander Coggins.
And me, Captain Foley.
And we will see you next time.